Well, floodwaters have already impacted hundreds of properties in Shepparton, as we were just talking about, as the Goulburn River continues to rise. Some properties have still been isolated. Now, joining me live is the Shepparton resident, Jess Carter. Jess, good morning. Appreciate your time today. Yep, I can see it all there behind you. How are things looking?
Pretty wet. There's a lot of water still around.
We're just having some difficulties hearing you at the moment, Jess, but I will try and proceed. Just back things up a little bit if you can still hear me. Just describe for me. We can see some of it behind you, but just how widespread the flooding is there.
So where I am, it is about 2 or 3 streets towards the river, and then another 3 or 4 streets towards the main road, and we're cut off at the main road, so our whole estate is underwater.
How are you feeling about that at this point?
I haven't slept for days. It's very overwhelming. It's a lot to take in and a lot to process at once. So just come out here and have a look every now and then and see how the water's going. But yeah, it's not a good sight.
Is it going up or down?
It's going down. I don't know if you can see the brick line, so it's dropped a little bit. It's dropped maybe 3 or 4 bricks since it peaked.
So, and that's your home there, is it?
This is my home. It is newly renovated inside. We've just nearly finished completion of our renovations, but now it's destroyed.
So have you gotten to the point now where you've got to work out what to do next, Jess?
Yes. Yeah, we have. Today we're going to start a bit of a clean-up. The water has receded inside the house, so we'll have to start pulling things apart and doing what we can to get it repaired. There's moisture built up on the windows already, and it's just a mess in there. There's dirt all over the floor. The doors are swelling.
Well, it looks like your dog's okay.
He's fine. Look at him. He's been my best friend through all this.
Have you got anyone staying with you, Jess? How are you?
My husband's here, so he's here with me. We got our children out to family before the water come up too high. We had a lot of family and friends here helping us sandbag, and that was really great. The community has just been wonderful. The support they've shown us and the help they've provided so far.
Are you insured, Jess?
No, I'm not. Neither are my neighbours.
So
We're not.
How difficult does that make the road ahead?
I don't know how we're going to be able to do it, but we don't have a choice. So I don't know. It's hard to process. It's hard to think about how we're going to fix this situation, but it has to be done. Kids need a home to come home to.
Sure, yeah, and I mean there are government handouts there, but I mean that's not going to be enough to help you repair everything there behind you, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. I couldn't tell you a figure of what this is going to cost. Once the water goes, we have to check the foundations of the house and see structurally how it is, not just inside the house, but how the structure of the house is holding up.
How do you feel about the response, not just from government, but the various agencies as well?
They've been fantastic. Like the services in our community have been great. We've had the SES patrolling the streets in their boats. We had to join in a few rescues. Our neighbours were stranded, so we got them to safe ground. But there's services everywhere around us, and they're letting us know via social media and other outlets that they are here. So we're not on our own. It's just nice to know.
Just a final one here, Jess. I mean, how do you describe the sheer volume of water and the rainfall that everyone's had in the last couple of days since last Friday?
I just can't explain it. Our neighbour across the road, he was warning us for a couple of weeks that this might happen. He was here through the 93 and the 74 floods, and he knew too well what was going to happen. And we should have listened sooner, but in the last day, Saturday, we scrambled together and we did everything we could to just fight for our house. The amount of water that's here, I had no idea.
And how are the kids, Jess?
They are fine. They are with their grandparents, and they have our caravan there with all their iPads technology, and they have no idea of what's happening here. I've sent them a few photos, but
yeah,
their bedrooms at the front of the house were the first to go under.
Wow.
So they're all poor.
Jess, I'm sorry to hear all of that, and I know it's going to be a tough road ahead for you, but everyone's okay in the long run. I suppose that's some silver lining there. Yeah, so despite all that trouble ahead, the Treasurer's coming up in the program too, so I'll be able to put some of these cases to him and see what the federal government's going to do about it. But Jess, I appreciate your time this morning on what is a tiring occasion for you, no doubt.
We appreciate it too. Our community appreciates it.
Thank you, Jess.